that really isn't that surprising to me. The state of Kentucky has elected a Republican governor, and this is only the second time in 4 decades this has happened. Congratulations, Kentucky.
So now, can he bring people together and get things done? That's a big question mark.
Republicans will clearly be going for the House as we look ahead to 2016. What does this mean?
Yeah, no, I think that this means Democrats are becoming an endangered species here in Kentucky. I mean, I think that this is blood in the water for the Republican Party that's been on the verge of a complete takeover. That's the only thing they're missing now is the State House. That's the final piece of the puzzle, and they seem, if tonight's any indication, then they're well on their way to getting there.
We had seen Auditor Adam Edlin, considered a rising star in the Democratic Party, still waiting to see what happens in his race tonight. But what could this mean for his future? Because we had heard him mentioned as a possible opponent to Senator Rand Paul in his re-election campaign.
Well, it's very difficult to imagine that Adam Edlin could lose this race and then turn around and mount a serious challenge to Rand Paul. I mean, really, aside from Matt Bevin tonight, I think you have to consider Rand Paul one of the biggest winners of the night. He has been coming under increasing pressure from Republicans to give up his presidential race and focus on his Senate race. There's been this growing sense of angst. I don't think that's going to be a concern anymore. I think everybody's going to be a lot more patient with Rand Paul's presidential race tomorrow than they were yesterday.
Political writer Sam Youngman will let you get back to your story, and we'll send it back to you.
Okay, what do you say we listen to the guy who lost first?
Tonight was not the result that we had hoped for, but it is a result that we respect. A few moments ago, I placed a call to Governor-elect Bevin and wished him well. It was a cordial phone call. I told him that I remain positive about moving this state forward, and that if he ever needed any assistance, that this Democrat was at his disposal. I am so lucky in so many ways. And one of the ways that I'm lucky is in looking out at this crowd tonight. I look out at this crowd tonight and I just don't see old friends. I see a lot of kindness that's been shown to me along the way in all 120 Kentucky counties through countless hours on the road. You've opened your homes, you've opened your hearts, you've made me a better person in so many ways. So while this is bitter tonight, I understand that life is very sweet, and I'm looking out at a crowd of a lot of great friends. Folks, I want to thank a few people. I want to thank Governor Beshear for leading us with integrity during some very difficult times. I want to thank Crit Llewellyn for being an outstanding friend and mentor to me all these years. I want to thank my incredible political team, Adam Sullivan, my buddy Mark Riddle, for giving me countless hours fighting this fight. And I love you too. I love you right back. I want to thank my brilliant running mate, Sandy Overly, the first woman in the history of Kentucky elected to House leadership. I want to thank my parents, Tom and Barbara Conway, and my siblings who are up here. Mom and Dad, we're a long way from a farm in Union County or the rail yards of South Louisville, and I love you very much. And I want to thank my remarkable family, my lovely wife, Elizabeth, my precious daughters, Eva and Alex. Eva, Alex, Daddy's going to be home a lot. Those three are the loves of my life. And because of them, and because of the journey that I'm on with them, tonight I consider myself the most blessed man on the face of the earth. And to the people of Kentucky, I want to say to you, I respect your decision. I hope we can always work together in common purpose. I love our state. I love its diversity. I love everything about it. I love Kentucky. And I want to thank the people of Kentucky for the tremendous honor of allowing me to serve as the 49th Attorney General in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Thank you. May God bless you, and may God bless Kentucky.
I'm sure we'll hear a much happier speech from the winner.
Behind us, you all were the momentum that brought this forward. You all represent those who, from east to west, from north to south, are why we indeed will be the next governor and lieutenant governor of this Commonwealth of Kentucky. It is, love to hear those bells. I want to start by, first of all, thanking somebody who I could not do this without. And it's funny, I hear so often, how is it possible that you always seem so rested and you've got things together and you have all these children? How is it possible that you're able to do this? And I'll tell you, you marry well. That's how it's done. And come on up here, baby. My wife is somebody who does not love a lot of fanfare. She's a fairly quiet woman. She's an extraordinary mother. She hates me for doing this to her. But I'll tell you what, this is an extraordinarily strong person, somebody who is gracious, somebody who will make a fantastic First Lady for the Commonwealth of Kentucky. That may be all the FaceTime you're going to get from her. I don't know. But while she's here and has a captive audience, I am grateful to you, Glenna. I really am. Thank you. And God bless you. Thank you. I also want to thank each of my children who have endured an amazingly long slug and a lot of times where I was not there for things that I would have liked to have been there for, as I was traveling the state with so many of the others that were running for office, crossing paths with many of you so much more often than even with my own children. And I really want to thank each of them by name. Carolina Grace, Mackenzie Elizabeth. I'll just go to the first names. It could be a long time. I'm going to go to Madison, Olivia, Sophia, Isaac, Lydia, Jonah, and just because it's always fun to do, Dan the Man. I am grateful to you. A little while ago I had an opportunity to hear from Jack Conway, who very graciously reached out and conceded this race, and it is something I was grateful for. We had a good conversation about several things, not the least of which is that we have much work ahead of us, and that we are Republicans and Democrats, and that we are one Kentucky at the end of the day, and we have much work that must be done. I do want to tell you before I make a couple of simple comments, and we'll keep this short and sweet. I know that many of you are weary of turning on your TV and seeing my evil twin. And so, I just want you to know I have asked him to move out of Kentucky. I have asked that guy, I don't know who he is exactly, but he's been up to no good apparently, and he's been giving me a bad name. And he has been absolutely inundating your airwaves. So I'm hoping for all your sake that you'll be able to watch the football game, you'll be able to watch Jeopardy, you'll be able to watch whatever it is you happen to watch without seeing him and his shenanigans. So we've asked him to move on out of here, and I appreciate you putting up with him for so many months. We talked several times in our most recent ads about the fact that we as a state, we as a party, we as a people, and frankly, we as a nation in some measure, but specific to this moment in time in the Commonwealth of Kentucky, we need a fresh start. We truly do. We need a fresh start. And I'm grateful for the fact that this trajectory that put me here, and I do believe that people find themselves in certain places, certain moment in time, for a reason. And I'm grateful for the fact that everything that has afforded me this opportunity began because I was raised by a man and a woman who raised me with things that were of eternal value, eternal consequence. They raised me with an incredible work ethic, but they also raised me with an appreciation and a respect for God, for them, for my country, for the rule of law. And my mother and father are here with me right in front. Give a hand to my mother and father. We are truly blessed. I have other siblings here as well. One of my brothers, one of my sisters, a lot of my nephews are here, and I'm grateful to you all for being here. I truly am. And I'm grateful for the trajectory that you launched me on. My mother told me earlier she thought she liked it a little better when I was the president of the 4-H and not the governor of a state or the governor-elect in this case. But I'll tell you what, I'm grateful to you, Mom. I'm grateful to you, Dad. Thank you so much for everything. I appreciate it. I will simply say this, at the risk of bringing us down, I do want us to remember that the task before us has only just begun. It truly has only just begun. And that while there are people in other rooms just like this and other parts of the state that are disappointed tonight, who have poured for various reasons and in various ways themselves into campaigns, and things did not turn out as they had hoped for, and yet my hat is off to every single individual. From my immediate opponent, Jack Conway, and Drew Curtis, who I also heard from, to those that ran in the down-ticket races on both sides of the aisle, to all the men and women who have put themselves forward, it is at times a thankless task. And I'm grateful to those who have done so, because it is the very thing that makes the fabric of this nation strong when we continue to weave ourselves together with disparate ideas, different ideologies, different perspectives. This is the strength and the beauty of America. It truly is. And I'm grateful to those who have run. I'm grateful for the fact that while we have great opportunity ahead of us, and while it will be a great amount of work, that we have this kind of enthusiasm, this type of encouragement. Because this is the chance for a fresh start. It truly is. And we desperately need it. I'm grateful for the fact that we, and when I say we, I mean all of you, have run this race our way. And by our way, what I mean is we have not chosen to climb into the trough. We have chosen to take the proverbial high road, and this is good because I believe this offers us an opportunity to change the tenor of what has become expected in the world of politics, that we have become You all are living proof of the fact that we don't need to follow down that cycle, that we don't need to settle for the lesser of evils, that we don't need to settle for the divisiveness, that we can celebrate solutions, that we can celebrate the greatness of our diversity and yet the things that bring us together. This is what I am grateful for. I'm grateful for the fact that you all went to the ballot box, and those that are watching, and those that have collectively decided that we want a fresh start, that we want to turn the page. This is your Kentucky. This is our opportunity. We will seek the future together, but we will do it as one Kentucky. Republican and Democrat alike, independent, those who did not even vote. To those of you who did vote, I personally thank you. I thank you on behalf of those men and women who have given everything, who have given us the ability to go to the ballot box. I thank you. For the 1.5 million Americans who have given their lives in uniform of our nation's military, for the men and women who have given their lives in the uniform of our police officers and our firefighters and our other first responders. These are people who did not have the ability to vote. But because of the fact that they have gone into places and done things that we did not want to do, that some of us were not even able to do, but they were willing and able to do these things, they have afforded us the very ability to be here tonight, freely assembled, freely speaking, and having the very privilege of the ballot box. And so our hat is off to those of you who have given everything, and to your families who are watching tonight. This is a call out to everyone in Kentucky tonight. Whether you voted for me, whether you didn't vote for me, whether you voted or didn't vote, this is your Kentucky. This is your America. This is our opportunity to come together as one. We have much work ahead of us. I've said it often on the campaign trail, but Thomas Edison noted that most people in life miss opportunity. He said they miss opportunity because it usually shows up in overalls and looks like hard work. And indeed, it's true. Indeed, it is true. We have much hard work ahead of us, but we have extraordinary opportunity. We are blessed with things in this state you could not buy at any price. We are blessed with an abundance of resources. We are blessed with an incredible set of values that the vast majority of Kentuckians hold. The core Christian values that this nation was built on, and while some will apologize, there is no reason that we must apologize for the core principles that make us an exceptional nation, that make us an exceptional state. We are remarkably alike. I have driven 95,000 miles around this state in the last 2 years. That's a lot of miles. I've seen many of you many times, and some of you I've seen for the first time tonight. But I'll tell you this, we are, for all the things that separate us, we are incredibly alike. And I want us tonight to go out of here inspired to unite. I challenge each of you tonight to find somebody as you go about your business tomorrow, somebody who you know was on the other side of this particular battle, this particular political equation, and reach out to them. Extend your hand, literally, figuratively, whatever the case might be. That we are only going to be the greatest version of ourselves if, in fact, we are one Kentucky. It must happen. My challenge to you is do not fail to take the high road as we have done to this point. Continue to take the high road, because this is the opportunity for Kentucky to be a beacon to the nation. The values that we hold, the principles that we hold, the work ethic that we hold, the high road that we will take, this will change the tenor of what happens in the 2016 race. It truly will, because it will be you who represent the fact that Kentucky is a crown jewel in the crown of America. We truly are. I will simply say this in closing. I am grateful to you. I am more grateful to you than I would be able to express even if I were to try. I'm humbled by the challenge before us. I'm humbled by the opportunity before us. I'm grateful for the fact that you have been so generous with your support to so many others who have run as well from the conservative side of the aisle. And I'll tell you, while I'm a Republican, and I've always been a Republican, and I'm proud for the fact that this is a great night for the Republican Party in the state of Kentucky. I'm also grateful for the fact that, even more importantly, this is a great night for conservatives in the state of Kentucky. Exuberant in victory.